it sounds like, as you start to get yourself out there and be CEO and owning companies, opportunities start to come to you, and you don't really expect them. But you keep your eyes open, your ears open, and there's things that come across my desk too that I'm like, I had never done anything like that or owned any type of company, but it sounds interesting. And business is business, right? It's just, it's a little bit different, but the nuts and bolts of business is typically the same. You're just doing something different in it. But it sounds like you've also really gotten into franchises, because you've mentioned that. And Joni, I'll ask you, like, do you have any thoughts on, is there a reason why you've gravitated more towards the franchise model than starting up something new?
Yeah, I mean, it started when we actually started the turnkey model. We have built the investment company, and when we were going to start building out the property management company, we had no clue what we were doing. I mean, we were managing other people's property and using QuickBooks as, and we'd give them their statement. Excel spreadsheets. Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous. And we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. And so, the franchise model kind of made more sense for us at the time. And it's been good for us. It's helped us to, get our name out there branding wise. And it's, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, the market, I mean, I get asked that a lot, like, would I do it all over again? And of course I mean, if you have the resources and the connections and like, we're both part of Collective Genius. So if you have those kind of resources, I think at the time you can probably get around not needing a franchise model, because you have the resources that can help support you and, tell you about the softwares and technology they're already using, and you can probably, get around it all. But I think if you're very new to business and don't know what to expect and you haven't built something else before, then I think, a franchise model can work for you and help you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, business is a lot about systems and processes, and I'm not very good at creating a system or a process, and a franchise kind of helps with all of that, right? Correct. They already kind of have that blueprint made, and so I think it's very attractive. So you guys own a lot, and things are really, really good right now. And I'll ask, like, what's your roles in the business? I mean, who's the CEO, or who's?
So we're co-CEOs.
we can do a thumb war. Who's
the CEO today? Joni's the CEO on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah. And right. Shawn. And so my role, I mean, like Shawn mentioned, he's definitely more of the visionary. I have always been more of the driver, which has kind of made us a powerful couple that way. I think today he more runs the construction and the turnkey investment side of things, and I run the property management. That's kind of how our roles, played out.
Okay.
I mean, it's and don't get me wrong, we don't have everything figured out. We're not perfect by any means, and so I think there's times we go home and it's a struggle. It's like, I made a call and she didn't agree with it, and or I took our CEO or operational manager's decision over hers, and I have to live with that and go home, and I just overruled my wife at work, and then I have to be a husband to her at home, and that's not always an easy.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's not always easy.
Something that we always have to continuously work on.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, I know that Joni, in your book, you talk about balance, and as an entrepreneur, a wife, and a mom. And so I'll start with you on this, but how do you guys do that? I mean, I think that, like I said, I think we were at CG and someone asked who, because you are a business owner, struggles with being a parent or a husband or a wife, and like 80% of the people raise their hand. Mm-hmm. So this is something you're very passionate about. So do you guys have guidelines, or is there a system that you kind of try to do as being co-CEOs and husband and wife?
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I just saying, just as being co-CEOs and husband and wife and parents, and how do you guys do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely challenging. And for like the women out there that, women, and we are so hard on ourselves, and, everything just has to be so perfect, and not, and it's not going to be perfect. And I had to realize that. And, and really when it comes down to is I just strive to be better than I was yesterday. So a better wife, a better mother, a better leader, than I was yesterday. Every day I strive to be better. And with the balance thing, when I'm at work, it's 100% work. I'm dedicated 100% to my team. When I'm at home, I'm dedicated 100% to my family. And I have 5 buckets. So, and that includes my spiritual, relationship, family, business, and health. And so I have to say no a lot. And that's something that we've had to learn is that, like if you have, a friend that's having a party, you might not be able to go to that party because it doesn't fit in your buckets. And I am organized with, my, set my priorities, and routines are huge for me. I mean, I wake up early to have my meditation, to, say what I'm grateful for, and then working out in the morning, and then getting the kids to school. So everything is just, by routine. And it might sound boring, but that's what works for me.
No, it's good. I mean, a lot of successful people, whatever they do is boring. It's about routine. It's about consistency. It's it's not sexy, but so it sounds like you're a very routine person each and every day, and that's great for balance. I love what you said about just being 100% present, right? Because sometimes we beat ourselves up. It's like if we're at work, you think, man, I need to be with my kids, and if you're with your kids, you're thinking about, man, I need to do this for work. And I think that if you can just be present, and that's all what we're striving for. So Shawn, what about you? I mean, are you a super routine guy too, or are you more of a fly by the seat visionary type?
So I'm pretty structured. So I mean, I follow. Yeah, we're the one thing that I don't know who called it out the other day, but Joni and I, yeah. So and it works for us. I'm not saying it works, but I mean, we've grown up together. We've um, built everything together. We built a family together, but we've always done things together, and that's why like people like combine our names, and we end up getting Shoni and John like all the time. But because it just people see us as like one, and so they combined everything. But so I mean, we do a lot of stuff still together. Like I work out in the morning, quiet time in the morning, and then we work out, usually at the same time, and then off to work and get the kids to school, but it's very structured. We have lunch together every single day.
That's awesome.
And so I think the big thing that Joni and I early on never did was like we've never had. She has her friends or her things that she loves to do, and I have mine and my guy friends or whatever. That's never been us. So we don't do very much apart, and so we don't. We have very similar interests, and we've just grown together, and so we share life, and yeah, like she said, there's not a lot that fits into our life outside of those kind of main buckets or priorities in our life. But I mean, to help with some of the balance, I think the phones are like one of the biggest distractions, and we're not perfect at it by any means. There's struggles that we have, and there's times where we have a project or something that's due the next day. We have to deal with it that night, and so, but we really try to shut off our phones at 6 o'clock and put them away, so they're not a distraction, and just get out of sight, out of mind, so we can be present with our kids. They love movies and popcorn, and they just love.
And they love having the family dinners together. Like every day when we go home, it's the 4 of us eating at the kitchen table, and they just love that.
They just enjoy the time just together, and it's the most simplest things in life. But it's just that time that they really seek. And so we know I think Jim Shields and the 18 Summers, and that's been as we've grown and as we've matured, like our kids right now, we only have a very limited amount of time with them, and they're growing so quickly, and it's going by so fast. So we really, have tried to, we don't work weekends and we don't work at nights anymore. And yes, that might jeopardize some of the businesses or our initiatives, but to us, it's like we only have this 18 years with them. And so we're going to make the most of it that we possibly can.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for checking out the Brett Snodgrass channel. If you like this video, please slam on that like button. And if you really like it, then subscribe to our channel here. And remember to leave us a comment below, and I'm going to try my hardest to reply to all the comments. Thank you guys so much. This is why I do what I do. Every single week, I come out with content that focuses on success, freedom, and living out your purpose. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.